You have reached the public service. Ask yourself one question. Are you a taker or a maker? As with any situation in life, is your situation taking or making you happy? This is a public service show, and I'm Sandra.
And I'm Kirk.
And today's topic is about affordability, a word that's been just beaten into the ground as an unreal type of human condition in America and the world for that matter. So, is there anything that we can afford? And I'm not talking about the rich people that have everything. I'm talking about us, everyday people.
The average American.
That's right.
Yeah. Affordability. What is affordability? Who am I sounding like? Okay. The U.S. is in a war. A financial war. It's costing citizens billions of dollars. Healthcare costs are rising because of the end of the Affordable Care Act at the hands of the big, beautiful bill. And I'm not exactly sure that's what we should be calling it, but tariffs are also raising the cost of food and all goods, really. Anything that's imported, which is about everything to the United States. In fact, we import food that we actually grow. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that food and cars and homes and how much all of these things have risen in the last handful of years. And we're going to start out with the most obvious, because this is the one thing that a very large number of Americans must absolutely have to be able to successfully live in this country. Really, unless you live in a very large city that has a pretty robust public transit system, like New York, for example, you have to have one of these, a car. And in the last 5 years, new car prices have risen is a car, on average of 30%. Cars like Hyundai have risen 34%. Volkswagen raised 38%. Interestingly enough, we have a Volkswagen.
And when I was doing these statistics, I found it very interesting that the most affordable cars have risen their prices up. Over almost 40%.
Yeah.
Is that greed or is that need? I think it's greed.
Oh, it's greed.
If you look at the cost of making a car, which he has before. What was that truck that you looked up?
It was Ford F-150.
Ford F-150 from soup to nuts and put on the lot cost how much to make?
It was under 10 grand.
And you're paying 50 to 60 to 70 grand. So just imagine you're making these small cars like the Hyundai. I would probably guesstimate maybe 5 grand to make it or less. But you're going to pay $20,000 to $30,000 for that. Is that a lot of profit? Oh, you bet.
Yeah.
Oh, you bet.
My apologies. I'm it's a little warm outside. I'm a little dewy, so it's kind of like rubbing my
It's okay.
my poor glasses sliding in my nostrils. Yeah. The budget brand cars are gone. There are zero brand new cars under 20 grand. Zero.
And that's by design.
Yeah.
Now, was it greed or is it need? Sounds like greed to me.
Greed. To finish out the list of statistics, in 2026, a compact car. Now, mind you, the average American can't even fit in one of these cars because we're averagely overweight. But
there's Mini Coopers, those really tiny
compact cars average $27,500 if you round up to the nearest dollar, $27,500. A subcompact SUV, which is now we're starting to get into the cars Americans love, $31,122. A compact SUV, so not sub but compact, And I'm not sure. I mean, I think inches are literally the difference.
I don't know. I think it has to do with how many people you can fit.
Maybe, but
Okay.
those cars are $37,757, so almost 38 grand.
That's right.
Mid-size subs, and now mid-size subs are what most people would consider the family truckster.
Right.
50 grand. 50 grand. And full-size pickups, trucks, which are hugely popular in this country. Why, I don't know, because 90% of the fools that drive these things do not need a truck. $66,000.
Now, and I question,
$288.
but
66
I
grand.
question that price because we've seen used full-size trucks for more than that on lots.
Used.
So I suspect that this is like 20 grand short because if that's new. But that's disgusting too.
That's insane.
I mean, that you can buy an entire mobile home for that price, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you
And
can
wait till-
use
yeah.
one. I mean, but I mean, we were just
And like you said, this full-size truck costs $10,000 to make. So you're looking at over $55,000 of sheer profit.
now. I did a little, yeah.
That's a lot of money off of one vehicle, and I see a lot of them out there. I don't know how these people are affording them, but I see them, in the gas stations a lot. Good luck with that, right?
I did a little research after you had put this out. It was just quick because I remember reading something, hearing something stupid,
Okay.
and I validated it. So part of the cost. So check this out. For example, let's use a computer module in these cars. Did you know that one company in Canada will build the module? They will ship it to Mexico for pieces to be added to the module.
Mm-hmm.
In Mexico, they'll ship it back to Canada for finishing of the module, and then they'll ship it from Canada to the United States for inputting into the car. Now, explain something to me. Why in the world would you do something stupid like that? So now you're talking a product that's now got triple shipping on it just to get put together and then turn around and sent to the final destination for installation into a new vehicle.
As I'm processing what you're saying, it sounds to me like Canada was contracted for the lowest amount to do this part, and Mexico was contracted to do the lowest part in this part, which I guess they were saving money. But how do you save money with the shipping?
You don't save money.
So
That's
I
the
think
thing.
it's like poor marketing or poor,
It's poor logistics. So
well, I don't know who's doing the budgets for these cars.
well, the
and these
logistics of it all.
trucks.
It's like it would make more sense
That's
to have the whole component stay in Canada, Mexico ship one shipment up to Canada for insertion into the module, and then Canada sends it to America. Or better yet, why isn't all this stuff being put together in America or wherever they're building the car?
Or if Mexico undermines the wages so much that it's including shipping, they're below budget.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just, you ask. I'm
seemed
just
like-
trying to speculate why they would do that. I mean, I don't see how they would ship all these things and it costs more. I don't see companies doing that. I see that probably Mexico is bringing them under the wire. But, it's
Yeah, that
speculation.
was
We'd
just-
have
it
to
was
do
just
that.
an example,
That's ridiculous.
but, I mean-
that's why it takes so long to get stuff now.
That's why it takes so long to build it. That's why it costs so much. These,
Anyway,
yeah.
I hear you.
And let's just face it, all of these are artificially cranked up.
That's what, yeah.
Because if you go from bumper to bumper and you just start listing off parts. Each one of these parts is ridiculous percentages higher than it was just 5 years ago. And someone needs to explain why. Why is that? Personally, greed. It just boils down to greed. There's no way someone can tell me that the inflation on these vehicles outpace average inflation by a factor of 10.
Yeah, no way. So moving on to used car prices. Now this is one that just about, I had to get my chin up off the floor. Used car prices have remained elevated since 2020, COVID. And with the average cost of a used Hyundai and all these things, cars, at $25,000. Listen to that. $25,000 for a used car. I mean, 9 times out of 10, 15 years ago, that would be like a Mercedes or a BMW that had high miles. Nope. Now it's your low-end vehicles. I'm sure you all have seen the used car lots and the nerve of the prices. I've seen people going, oh, are you kidding me? I myself have done that. A 3-year-old car, roughly, with 36,000 to 45,000 miles. Think about that. 25,000 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a 5-year car, 5-year-old car with 60 to 75,000 miles, right? It's more. And it goes on and on and on and on and on. Well, I've got it reversed here, but
I can't believe they're actually
trucks are
selling
even
cars.
higher miles like we saw. We saw a truck that had, I saw a video of a guy that saw a truck that had over 100,000 miles on it. They wanted $70,000 for that truck.
That's just unreal.
$70,000. So what is happening with the used car market? I don't see people buying. I see them fixing their cars. But I also see a lot of people on the road out there with, a lot of damage on their vehicles because they can't afford to replace it. I mean, even with gap insurance, and we'll talk about gap insurance a little bit here. But gap insurance is insurance that you buy your car, and the rest of us, you just pay your insurance. But now the cars are so overpriced that you need to buy even more insurance to cover how much they're charging you for it. Frankly, I think this is illegal. And if I ever go onto a lot to buy a vehicle and they're going to require gap insurance, I'm going to walk away because I know that I'm purchasing something that is pretty darn worthless past A to B or B to C. And I cannot believe insurance companies are allowing this, but they're making money, as my guy said. They're making money off it. They don't care. That's extra. That's 2 policies on one worthless vehicle.
Oh, the same?
2 policies. I mean, that's outrageous to me. I mean, where are the regulations that said that you cannot sell a vehicle over its value? Hello?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I'm just not going to do it. If you're going to tell me that I need gap insurance, I'm going to walk away from your lot. And more of us should, because that will drive the prices down. Because if we say we can't and we go back and fix our car, and I know in some cases you have to get another car because maybe you totaled yours or somebody else totaled yours. But if you have an option to say no, I don't want to purchase a vehicle that is not worth the price you're selling it to me for, please walk away. We have to take our money back. I mean, the repo man, as Kirk was telling me the other day, repos are so high now because they're selling cars at ridiculous values that have no value.
People are buying the cars and they're literally lasting all of 2 or 3 months in them, and then they can't afford. Think about this a second. The average car payment is over $1,000. $1,000. Now, I guess if you're a young person and you're just getting going, no different. But just a short, I mean, again, we're not talking about 50, 60 years ago. 10 years ago, you would be considered paying too much money if you were dropping more than $500 a
Right.
month.
That's right.
And in just 10 short years, that's doubled. It took us, since Ford invented the Model T, to 2015 to get to $500 a month, and then it took us from 2015 to 2025 to double that. That's broken. And to expand on the gap insurance, so first of all, your average insurance companies, Progressive, State Farm, they don't offer gap insurance. It's a completely separate insurance company. And yet again, this was invented, and this is something just in the last 5 to 10 years, gap insurance. And now, so basically you have insurance companies, Progressive, State Farms, all
those are your regular insurance.
Setting the market for what a vehicle should cost. And car manufacturers said, well,
poo on that. We want extra profits.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
They said that, I don't care. We're going to gouge people. And they started in 2020, when we did have problems getting parts, right? Because of COVID and things like that. We kind of understood it a little bit, but now, no. Even before tariffs started, they were still gouging us. They said, we're not going to roll back anything. That's the one thing you can guarantee with big business, is if they get to a peak where they're taking money, they're not going to roll that crap back. You're going to pay the price. And not only are you going to pay the price, we all are. Because people can't afford anything. They are creating ghettos. They are creating suffrage. They are creating starvation with their greed alone. Now think about that. Car's worth A, whatever your insurance company said, just like I said. This is what the true 100% value of this vehicle is. But the car companies go, nope, I want an extra $5,000 or an extra $6,000 on this car. So you have to go out and find another insurance company to insure that vehicle because it's not worth that money. Period. Done. End. And that gap insurance is going to be dicey as it is. My understanding is it's not going to cover everything, right? So you're going to end up, something happens, both of those insurance companies are going to fight you. Well, that other insurance company should pay. No, this other insurance. You know what I'm talking about. Everybody's had double insurance and both insurance companies fight and not want to pay. So you're going to be struggling for a long time. I'm doing you a favor. If you can say no, by all means do it, right?
Oh, 100%.
And two insurance companies, just think, they're only looking out for themselves, not you. They've already got the money from you. They don't care. Yeah, that's right. So keep that
and the car
in your
manufacturers
pocket.
Don't give. They don't give a whit. They don't care because the minute you've driven off that lot, they've already gotten paid.
Yeah, they've
That's your
got their money.
financing.
Yep.
I mean,
And
how many people are walking onto a car lot with liquid $30,000 sitting in their bank account? They just write a check and off they go.
And used cars are selling for the price of new cars.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to buy a used car and you need gap insurance, whoa. Just remember what we said.
Yeah.
Gap insurance for a used car. So you had two insurance companies for a car that's used. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I'm what's going on and how we got here. I'm infuriated by the greed and these companies that don't care about human life. It's just there. I don't care if these humans have cars. I don't care if they have a way to work. I don't care. As long as I get my money, I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep hearing. When I read stuff like this, I'm like, they don't care. And you got to take it down to the lowest common denominator, right? When these companies are taking all this money and all this suffrage, and I hear some people defend it, well, it's capitalism. I'm like, now when you're suffering, it's not capitalism, but when other people are suffering, it's capitalism. Because then you look at their situation and I'm like, have you this ever, oh no, I would never get myself into that situation. But then something happens and they're down low. And everybody else looks at that same person that said capitalism. And I go, there's your capitalism, right? Because you can't look outside your situation and have empathy for your fellow man, right? And that's what I'm saying these corporations don't have. They don't have empathy for the human condition. They only care about stacking the Benjamins.
These people that are making millions of dollars a year,
billions, car companies.
No, I'm talking about their own salaries. Millions and millions of dollars a year will stand there and argue with you about how the price of their vehicle is justified. Has these car companies, to Sandra's point, are pocketing billions of dollars, and these CEOs and the whole executive level, from like presidents, VPs, directors, these people are making $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 a year, and they're going to argue with you about how they can justify the cost of these vehicles. And these used cars,
there's no justification.
There's
Come on,
zero
I don't
justification.
know. I don't even see how there's justification for new cars.
There isn't.
If you need gap insurance,
there isn't.
That's the bottom line right there. If you walk onto a lot and somebody says that, I wanted this, blah 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 blah, and ask them, would I need gap insurance to buy this car? And if they say yes, walk away from that car. That car's not worth what they're asking for it. It's as simple as that.
Is that you do need gap insurance for basically every single vehicle you purchase, short of the absolute bottom of the barrel.
If you can fix your vehicle, fix it.
Do it.
And we're getting ripped off there too. Okay, because you want to hear something? I read an article that said in 2020, when there was a shortage of parts and car prices went through the roof and stuff like that, you know who started? Well, the mechanics started cranking up the price to do everything, right? Right? And so they said, well, that they can't afford this, they're going to have to come to us. Here we are again. Instead of helping your fellow man out, right? Let's crank the price up and kick a dog when it's down, right? Let's just kick you while you're down. People were already struggling in 2020 and stuff because of COVID. So a lot of people didn't have jobs and things like that and were looking for work, right? And what did your fellow man do? Your mechanics. If you look at the cost of getting tune-ups and all these other things, went up like 30 to 40%, in some cases even more. Here, let me help you out, right? Let me just kick a dog while it's down.
Why is it that every time there's a situation, people have to use that situation to rip others off pillar to post? Why? Not
all. Okay, there are some good guys out there. I'm still looking.
Some.
But I'm sure they're there.
They're not the rule.
And turn them in. Turn them in, turn them into us, turn them in places and say, and don't be a pal. This is your buddy. So he kicks you, free, whatever, and stuff like that. You're just helping out your buddy. And then I go there and I'm getting, ripped off, right? Because we know that happens too. When they first started doing, reviews of things, all your friends and everybody go and say, oh, this is great. This is wonderful, blah, 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 blah. And then you go there and it's not so wonderful and it's not so great. And they start getting the real reviews.
Yeah.
So tell about real people. I want to hear about people that aren't related and stuff like this. That's the reviews have become a joke and a scam now, right? It used to be a tool that people could use to screen, and that goes for these car companies and car dealerships as well. You can go online and say, hey, is this company, treating people fairly or blah, 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 blah. So I just have to be the one to say, you car dealers, I mean, y'all are really responsible for this crap too. You're selling cars and you're just not all of you, but you're just not being honest. And if you really want to have, customer retention, customer return, don't do it. Just don't. Don't be good to your buddies and friends and everybody else is the slap in the face, because that's how they do it.
Yeah.
Your friends and your buddies and everything like that. I'll give you a good deal on this car. Oh, this car's coming in. Here, I'll give you a good deal. And then I walk in, or my husband walks in, and oh no, there's no deals.
Yeah,
there's
ripped
nothing.
Off.
And then they go, I don't understand why we don't have any customers. I go, oh, pick me. I'll tell you why. Okay, I'm complaining a lot because I'm complaining for you. I'm trying to educate you that you're overpaying. And I don't know how we're going to fix it, but if we do the silent protest again, if somebody tells you use new, I don't care if it's upside down, that you're going to need gap insurance, you're overpaying for that. And I know that there are very few options, but if you've got a computer, please do your searching. Look and try to find the best deals that you possibly can. And somewhere out there has to be somebody that's honest. Somewhere. And do tell if there is, because they're going to make a ton of money. Like these massive car lots that are just selling cars for ridiculous amounts of money.
CarMax.
Yeah, I almost dropped. I was going to drop it too. So, and here we go. This part of the used car, new car thing. Electric cars too. They start around $29,000, such as a Nissan Leaf and the Chicago Equinox.
Chevrolet.
Just Chevy. Just Chevy. And your mainstream electric vehicles range from $37,000 to $55,000. That's kind of high. But you have to remember that there's no gas involved here. And very little maintenance, of course, unless you blow out a tires or your windshield and stuff like that, because it's a battery. And the batteries last for a long, long time. So you can write that off. And charging is not the same cost. It depends, but it's pretty much as gas.
Yeah.
So now, you're going to save there.
There is a new electric vehicle, a Slate.
Slate.
If you go to slate.auto, this is their selling point. Under, I want to say it's close to or under 25,000.
Right.
But it's stripped. There's nothing in it. I mean, even the windows are your good old fashioned back in the day. Many of you kids have never seen the old crank window, but that's what it has. It doesn't have a radio in it. It has air conditioning, headlights, turn signal. That's it.
But you can afford it.
Your safety features. But you can afford it. And of course, it's designed to work with your smartphone or a tablet or whatever. But at least it's a company, and they're brand new. So I've seen looks like they're going to start shipping here tail end of this year, early next. But it's another option. But yet again, it's mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're making $7.25 or whatever the minimum wage, I can't remember now, was it $7.25, $7.45?
It's $7.25 in the red states.
In many of these other states.
We're in Cali, so it's a little bit different. I'm in California.
You aren't buying any of, you're not buying the used cars.
Mm-mm.
You're not buying the new cars. You're not buying any of this stuff.
That's right. Because you can't afford it.
Because you can't afford it.
That's right.
And yet again, another money suck of the poor, because you can't afford something. You can't afford a low mileage, reliable used car. You can't afford a new car. So you're ending up buying something with well over 200,000 miles on it that's on its last leg, that you're also probably paying a ridiculous amount of money a month. You're getting ripped off with the finance charges because you're poor, which means your credit is probably in the dumper. You're probably rolling 400 or 500 something, which means you just got screwed over for a 20% loan. You're basically paying the same APR as a credit card on a vehicle that's literally going to die on you in 6 months because that was all you could afford. And the carousel keeps on spinning.
It's bad.
It's bad.
You know, we want to do lighter shows, and it's really tough right now because we're watching this situation unfold with the elections and the misinformation that's being said out there about, you know, the cost of living and affordability and stuff. So in our next segment, which he's going to talk about, which are food prices, we're actually going to use our receipts. From shopping today and a couple of days ago, and tell you, because like I said again, we live in California.
Yep.
So some people would say things are more expensive because, you know, they have to be trucked in. That's BS, because we have companies here that make most of this stuff and we grow most of this food here. So that's crap.
California gets ripped off because we actually pay our people
a decent wage.
So when you hear, the gas in Middle America is only $3 a gallon, but in California it's $5 or $6.
Yeah, but you know why? Because we wanted cleaner gas here. Because we know that these governors wanted cleaner gas to protect our air quality, and there's nothing wrong with having clean air, right? And so they punish us for that. But it's not just that, because if California, where we live, is such a consumer and all this stuff, all the companies try to punish us to try to be able to poison our water and our air and things like that, because it's cheaper for them not to do the right thing. And when you look at the toxicity of other states and the cancer levels and all these other things, I'm going to fight for clean air, clean water and stuff like that. So people can get angry with me about it, but it comes down to one thing. I need air to breathe, and so do you. I need water to drink, and so do you. We need food to eat, and so do you. So I don't care what your politics are, but once you get to a point where none of that's consumable, we all die. So just keep that in mind when you're saying, California, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, well, you need air to breathe. You need clean water to drink. And you need food that's healthy.
The only difference between California gas and Arkansas gas is the 40 cents of state tax.
It's only 40 cents, people. They make it, see, the rest of it's profit. It's punishment for wanting clean air. It is too.
40 cent state tax. No. It's the exact same formula. Junk into gas, because it's just federally mandated.
No, but that's what they said.
We pay because they know that we have the pockets to do it. There is no reason outside of our 40 cents more a gallon state tax that we should. So we should be paying. So if Arkansas is paying $3 a gallon, California should only be paying $3.40 a gallon.
Yeah, that's true.
Not $5 and $6 a gallon. Just whining because we're getting ripped off.
We're getting ripped off because our state is heavily Democrat. Right?
We're getting ripped off because we're.
But then there's other states, that.
And by the way, we refine the gas. There's like 10 refineries
so I think it's more politics than anything.
It's politics.
I think it is.
Oh yeah, it's politics.
It's like, what are we supposed to do here? We're supposed to pay higher. But even when we had a Republican governor, our gas was still high. So explain that to me.
Because the gas companies know they can get away with it because we have the pockets to pay for it.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's all about greed.
We should not be paying any more than some
It's all about greed.
In Arkansas or Oklahoma
We know.
And they had to truck their gas in.
We know. We have refineries right down in Los Angeles and everything because we live in California. So we know how this goes.
Got 9 refineries.
We know about how the burn is. How the burn. It's all about the burn.
We got refineries in Benicia.
I know.
Richmond.
That's right.
Vallejo. All these are within like 50 miles of us.
And they say they need to truck our gas in.
My apologies for moving around like that. I'm kind of sore, actually. Anyways, okay.
Not my fault.
On to food prices.
Or is it?
No, it's not your fault. Getting old, folks, getting old. One of these days we'll have a lighthearted show about the things they don't tell you.
But we did do a show about
I know,
that.
but more of them.
Okay. We have some more stuff to tell.
All right. Food prices. Now, this one, everybody. And it was interesting. Yet again, Sandra was digging around and doing... the current administration likes to flap their gums about eggs. And I don't know if he hasn't realized yet, but guess what? We don't all eat eggs 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. So, great. Eggs, ooh. Well, guess what? How about soup to nuts, eggs, tomatoes, beef, chicken, pork, frozen goods, impossible meat, frozen vegetables, fresh vegetables, bread, drinks, milk, orange juice, you name it, top to bottom, we are getting just flat gouged. And you can thank the tariffs. So we got the staples like bread, eggs, and meat in 2026 are this. For example, bread in California costs $4.03 a loaf.
Well, but
Eggs
then we bought some
$4.46.
the other day. So we're going to use our actual receipts. We brought 2 loaves of bread. Voila, this is from Walmart. And we had one loaf was $4.28.
Okay.
And the other loaf was $5.18. So the average cost of $4.03 doesn't apply here.
Yeah, it doesn't apply. And that's Walmart.
But you know what?
We
have plenty of major companies here, like Wonder Bread and stuff, that are here. Yep. Why is it costing so much? Because the tariffs? Well, I'll grant you the tariffs, but before the tariffs in 2020, it was high, and it just stayed high. It all stayed high.
Yeah.
And it has never gone down since 2020. It is 2026.
Yeah.
Have you seen the profits for these companies? Oh my goodness. It is off the chain, all of these companies. So we can talk about the staples like eggs. Well, we knew that we had some problems with some eggs, right? But they've seemed to have rectified that problem with the different diseases and things or viruses that were, plaguing the egg industry. There are a lot of documentaries on how chickens are treated.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just going to go off script here for a minute because I wanted to remember what he and I saw in a documentary about how chickens. Have you noticed in like the last 10 years that chicken breasts started off like this, but now they're like this? We saw how the chickens ended up with the breasts this size. It is because they are not allowed to walk around and they've been treated with chemicals to grow their breasts larger. We saw them in cramped quarters, walking through their own feces, unable to walk because their breasts are so large that they can't move. And he and I have made a pact. We're done with chicken.
No more chicken.
We're completely done.
If we treated human beings, other than immigrants, of course, because they seem to be getting the same treatment as chickens, but if we treated human beings like the chickens get treated, people be in prison.
The concentration camps would look better
than
that. It was
torture.
Close to it.
Just
it was close to
torture.
it. I cannot remember the name of the documentary, but look it up. it was horrifying to me.
I think it was
I
Food
couldn't.
Inc.
Yeah, he might be right. It was Food Inc. So yeah, check that out. I just wanted to tell you that we have sworn off. I mean, we are omnivores. You know, we were meat eaters too, and now I'm just, my conscience won't allow me to continue to watch my cat tear up the door because she wants out now. Emma, give us a couple of minutes, sweetheart. Okay, give us a few more minutes and we'll be out.
She's looking at me like death warmed over easy because I just tossed my pencil at her underneath to hopefully get her to relax, but now I'm in trouble.
So, now the staples are milk and things that we're lactose intolerant, so we don't
drink
buy milk. Not anymore. Okay. But we do eat ice cream occasionally. That's always interesting. But so cream. We usually buy a gallon jug of cream,
Coffee creamer.
you know, for your coffee in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And that gallon jug at Walmart was $6.88. That's a lot of money, but you know, we had to have the cream. It lasts us for a while, and we buy a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, a lot of vegetables.
Like bell peppers, for one. We bought 2 bell peppers, and it was $1.72. Do that math, right? That's a little pricey because we live in the valley, kind of. There's a lot of vegetables here. Why am I paying so high for vegetables? It just irks me when I pay so much for vegetables.
Yeah,
I understand
they're growing
imported
right there.
vegetables, right? I get that. Imported vegetables would be like, you know, bananas or something like that that's not grown
Well,
here.
that's fruit. But still.
But it's still a veggie of a sort, right?
No.
It's still fruit,
It's fruit.
you know, like orange bell peppers here. Orange bell peppers are at Walmart were $1.46. And that's considered on the fruity side because they're sweet.
That was for one.
Exactly.
$1.46 for one pepper.
That's right.
And are you seeing a pattern here? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Green.
we eat healthier than most because we can afford it. These are not the receipts of people who make $7.25 an hour. Their receipts have things like ramen noodles,
Yeah.
high
That's
fat
affordable.
content stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, which goes hand in hand with there's
Sugar,
no healthcare.
cereal,
I mean, hello,
milk,
you know.
those kind of things that you need to, you know, eat fast and go, right?
Yeah.
And we understand that because there were times when I had to, you know, put things together quickly, and I didn't eat so healthy. I didn't get this size.
Very
Eating quickly. So, and then we have a competing receipt because we like to go shop around. We shop at Costco, we shop at Walmart, we shop at Winco. I don't care how much money I have, even if I was sitting on millions of dollars, which we're not.
Yeah, let's be clear
I
about
would
that one.
still,
Ugh.
I would still be a bargain shopper. Why? Why waste money? Just, you know, buying name brand things. I find that wasteful. I
It is
don't
wasteful.
see the need, and I'm not pretentious at all. I don't care. You know, I will walk in and say, "Was this on sale?" No, then I'll buy that. Right?
And
And that's the way to be.
The reason you see this is because this Winco is, I guess, would be considered our budget grocery store in the area. But the problem is we have one, and it is halfway across town. So now we're in that round robin circle of, is the money we save at the grocery store halfway across town going to offset the gas that it costs to get over there and back?
And it does.
And it does.
We found some really large
If you
savings here,
have
and
the
I was a
time to
little
go
shocked.
all the way across town, though, that's where we end up is, do we have the time to spend 35, 40 minutes getting to and from?
And there's a lot of people out there that shop name brand. I understand that, but I'm going to tell you something. I was raised around a lot of wealthy people. And I mean, when I went to school, I wasn't wealthy. I was still middle class, but they were. And those are some of the cheapest people you ever want to know. And that's why they had so much. They didn't care about being pretentious. They'd pick up a dime or a nickel off the ground. Keep that in mind. The next time you know somebody that's like going out there and shopping somewhere that, you buy an orange for $2 when they can go get a whole bag of them at somewhere else.
Costco or what's
and then the next thing, and 4 days later, they're complaining they don't have any money, right? Yeah. But they got that little fancy bag. Not me. I've got cheap bags in the back of my car, right? Yeah. And I'm saving money because I need to feed people, and I got a cat here that needs food.
Potato chips.
Yeah.
Twice the size as Lay's.
That's right.
Half the cost.
That's right.
The Lay's bag was something like $5 and something. Well, we paid $2.50. And the bag is twice as big.
That's right.
For half the cost, it tastes just as good. I mean, that's another. Yeah, I'm not. We may have to do a show one of these days on generics versus name brand and where those generics come from.
That's true. In some instances, the generics are good and you have to taste them. But sometimes,
sometimes
it is. And I wouldn't suggest buying 2 of anything until you taste it. We made that mistake one time. Ooh, look, $1. And then we started loading up the cart. We got home, we're like, ooh, this is nasty.
Not good.
So, yeah. We only made that mistake once, though, because we were just so enamored with the price that, we were duped.
Yeah. And this is just we were duped. This is just a microcosm. Everybody's getting it. And car prices, gas, food, utilities, entertainment. Look at what a movie costs these days. It's no wonder that they're hitting $1 and $2 billion in a single weekend, because it costs almost $20 a head to go.
And
everything.
We go to the movies occasionally. We love to go to the movies. Yeah. We go together and we sit there with a big thing of popcorn with none of that fake. Okay. That's FYI, that is not butter. I asked the guy. I go, what is this? He goes, I don't know. I'm like, it's not butter. He goes, nope. And I go, don't put that on my popcorn. Yeah. And we were looking around going, he goes, I have no idea. And I was like, and I see people go, lots of butter. I'm like, that's not butter. You don't know what you're doing. Your arteries are dying.
Yeah, when butter gives Save you the glitz, that's not a good thing.
Or you can take it and smooth your hair down, and next thing you know, I don't know. No. But, protect yourself. As Americans, we are so overweight. I'm with you. The struggle is with me here. And ask the questions you need to ask. That butter is going to cost you an extra $5 or whatever, or $4 or whatever for your popcorn, right?
No. Butter, look, it's included, but it'll cost you extra $4 in trying to lose that weight when you walk out.
No, is that in the pills for the G1?
Yeah, right.
Whatever.
The injection people on the Ozempic.
High cholesterol and things like that with you young people.
But you're getting the point we're trying to make here.
But I need to go off script again. So I just saw the other day that our government is giving money to all of these stores that overcharged us and all of them. Car companies, any place we were overcharged, they're giving them money. So they are going to temporarily lower the prices. Now explain to me how giving a billionaire company like Walmart, Winco, all of these companies money for tariffs, and they pass the cost on to us. That money is not going to come back to us. Yeah, we're going to get low prices for like 2 weeks, right? And then the prices are going to go back. So we're not going to see a dime of our money. You may applaud. Some people don't understand what's happening here. Is they're going, oh, we're just going to lower, but they got our money twice. They got it by overcharging, and now they're getting the money from the tariffs. So there's no loss for these big organizations. We're getting burned twice, people. Think about it. Higher prices because of the tariffs. Now the companies are getting money because of the tariffs. We paid the prices. Now they're lowering prices. That's not helping us Anyway, I want my money back. I want you to have your money back too. Wouldn't it be nice if you opened up your mailbox and you saw a check there for $2,000 or $3,000? That would have been a good thing, or even $5,000, depending on how many family members you have. But no, the Waltons, who are billionaires, each one of them individually, got tariff checks. The Winco people, the car companies, everybody got rained on with our money. And then we got the shaft again. Look at how that worked. I was angry when I saw that. I go, what about us? You're giving billionaires more billions. Meanwhile, us poor people who are struggling to make ends meet get the shaft again. Sorry, babe. I had to say it.
Any time the federal government gives money to anyone other than you,
it's a
you're
payoff.
paying it.
Yeah. It's a bribe.
I don't care what it's called. That's
I
our
do.
tax money.
I do.
They shouldn't be giving any corporation on the planet a dime. That's our money. That's our money for the services that they're cutting, for all the other things that they're cutting, for wiping out all the... That is our money, period. That isn't money that they just printed up and it came from the sky. That's our money. So we pay the tariff costs.
Yeah, but if you
and
don't...
now we pay the corporations with our tax money because Numbnut is offsetting their losses. Oh, they said they had losses. Oh, the tariffs. No. They didn't pay a dime of the tariffs.
No,
we paid it.
We paid it. But we have to identify what it... I know he doesn't care what it's cost, but we need to explain to you what it's called. And we understand our anger and stuff like that. And I understand him saying, I don't care what it's called, but you have to understand this little game that's being played. And it's a nasty one. It's a real nasty one on how to make us believe that we're getting, a break, or they're cutting us, lowering the prices and things like that is helping us. It's not. The reason why it's not is because it's temporary fix. Very temporary. Because depending on how much each one of these companies got, they want to go back to that really high price because that's nothing but profits. Most of the items that are tariffed in, like I said, we paid all that. That's a tax on us. It wasn't a tax on these companies. It was a tax on us, consumers. So why aren't we getting the cash? Because it looks better if you pay the billionaires and the billionaires throw you a little bone. And believe me, they're keeping more than they're giving. If they're getting $16, $17 billion, we're only getting $1 billion back. And that's all of us. If another company is getting $20 billion, we're only getting $1 billion. That's how that works. And they won't have to pay taxes on it.
We're not getting anything back.
Because it was a tax on them, so they're being reimbursed. It's like when poor people get money back. In other words, he created one for the rich people, for the uber rich people. So it infuriated me. I went off script, and I wanted you to know if you hadn't heard, but they're getting paid big time for tariffs. They are, and we're not. I don't see how that helps us.
Americans, stop being greedy. You don't need half the crap you have. No. You just don't. This is the only way we're going to get out from under this. These corporations got us over a barrel. Why? Because we've convinced ourselves we have to have X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. Some fool buys an iPhone 15, then turns around the next year, goes out and spends another $1,000 on an iPhone 16, then goes next year, turn around and go out and get an iPhone 17, then an 18, a 19, a 20. Come on, seriously, really, you need that?
No.
You need that. I'm look you dead in the eye and say, no, you don't. I don't care what you've convinced yourself of. You don't need that.
Yeah,
you don't need
he's
90%
right.
of this. And this is
But
combat.
not everybody is doing that, though.
A lot of people are doing
Not me. Well, you know how old our phones are?
It's not just, it's what everybody, some person has a phone. Some person's the kind of person that's got to go out and buy the next brand new car when it comes out. Other people have to go out and buy the next brand new computer that comes out. No, you don't. Ride it until it dies. Our landfills, our water, our oceans are just chock full of crap.
That's true. Yeah.
That we buy and just absolutely toss. That is the single greatest difference between pre-2000s and post-2000s. We are in a buy it and throw it in the trash society.
Disposable,
and
yeah.
Everything. Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine, sweetheart. You're fine.
Everything.
Just need to write.
is disposable. Swippers buy a little plastic buzzy thing to collect dust, throw in the trash. How about get a rag, use it, throw it in the wash machine, and then reuse it?
I have Swippers. I'm bad.
I'm just using it as an example.
He's right. He's right. I'll get rid of it.
Steroids. Some people, literally, there are people out there that wear a pair of socks one time, wear a pair of underwear one time, wear a whole outfit one time.
Wait. Hold on.
I'm not talking about $80,000 of your.
No, I'm not talking about that. You mean to tell me to reuse my underwear? No way.
You don't wash it? We wash our underwear.
I know. I get that. Okay, so you weren't telling me to wear these every day.
I'm talking. There are people who pull the underwear out of the pack, throw it on their crusty backside, and throw it in the trash.
Oh, okay,
at the end of the day.
That's different. Okay, because I was about to get upset. I was like, wait. No skid mark, Annie.
This is how this stuff continues to get ridiculous. So I'm off my
No, he's right.
He's
right. We do need to curb
this country. And this is a uniquely American problem.
And I want to make one more observation about my bills here, right? If you people notice, and I'm sure we all do, there is a recycling tax on. I'm sorry, this is one of my. I am the consumer protection person. They charge us $5 for any kind of cup, blah 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 blah, for recycling, right?
5 cents.
That's what I said. 5 cents.
You said $5.
Did I really?
Yep.
My bad. So anyway.
No, hey, that's all right. I got it. Money feels like $5.
It's 5 cents. And it's a recycling fee that they charge us when we buy glass, plastic, and all this other stuff, right? Yeah. So we're supposed to recycle it. I have a recycling bin. I put the stuff in there. Where's my money back? Because I pay for the recycling as well. So the company takes $5 or 5 cents from me. I recycle it, which I pay for the recycling. And where does that money go? So you made a product that has to be recycled. Instead of making a product that can be, that just automatically, deteriorates like most things, or reuse it, and I have to pay for that. I already paid for the product, right? Now I'm paying for the recycling, and then I'm paying for the recycling again. No, that has to stop. You need to make better products that, are safe for our landfills, and stop charging me because you choose not to. Think about that. You're paying the 5 cents on all these bottles and cans. You put them in the recycling bin. You pay for the recycling too. Where's my money? Where's my money back? I recycled it.
In a politician's
right?
pocket. That's where your money's at.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I think that needs to stop. I think it needs to stop, and we need to force companies to fix their products so that they can either go into a landfill and just disintegrate within 2 or 3 years or less. And it's not harmful to the ground. And plastic, enough plastic. I need to do a whole show
with plastic.
I need to do a whole show on plastics.
Plastic needed to stay with the space program.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wrapping it there.
So food, I mean, these two bills, this is the last couple days. This one here was $165. And that was our Walmart bill. Our Winco bill, which for today was $181. It was mostly vegetables. We live in the valley. Why are vegetables so expensive?
Yep. And Walmart was yesterday, so there's not like 2 weeks difference here.
So altogether, my husband will tell you how much money we spent for groceries.
I mean, we're just under $400. Well, we're about $350, $360.
$350.
In 2 days.
Right. So I don't know how people can afford this. It is ridiculous. And people are saying, oh, you live in California, things are more expensive there. I'm going to tell you something. If we were to go to another state and I was making $7.25 an hour, right, I can believe the foods there is expensive there too. Because companies don't care anymore. It's all about the bottom line. The one with the most toys wins. I've heard that in the 80s. And capitalism is not greed.
Capitalism is dead.
Capitalism is not greed. It just shows. Will you stop? It's my turn.
Sorry. Capitalism.
So capitalism is not bad, is what they're trying to say. And I'm going to tell you something. If people have to starve, people have to be homeless, if people can't afford medication, if people can't afford cars, yes, capitalism is bad. And I will stand on that podium all day long and say that if people have to suffer, millions and billions of people have to suffer for a handful of people, it's bad.
I'll even throw the word evil on it. It's not just bad, it's evil. And you know it is.
Oh.
Stop trying to justify to yourselves, Mr. Billionaires, Ms. Billionaires, that it's okay.
And stop
and
telling
we're all
us
good with it.
And stop telling us that we have enough money.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever hear that again. If we pay you a more money, then it's going to hurt us. Oh, by all means, we want to hurt you now. Because people are struggling and suffering.
That's right.
Anyway, this has been a public service show. And I'm Sandra.
And I'm Kirk. Make sure you go to thepublicservice.org, hit up our message board. We'll be there. You have been watching a public service show. America is part of a global community. Sandra and I are well aware that the American experience had the hope for freedom. America isn't perfect by any means, and we are currently having our freedoms tested. Here at the Public Service Show, we're going to look at how and why we're at this point in America.